The stars glimmered against the void as the massive Zorlian warship approached Earth. Orbit Luna Colony remained silent, watching the alien vessel that carried Princess Lyra of the Zorlian Empire. She was known across 7 galaxies as the Destroyer of Worlds. Princess Lyra stood tall, her violet skin shimmering under the artificial lights of her private chamber, her 4 eyes scanning the blue planet below her long silver hair floating around her in the reduced gravity. She was beautiful by any species standards, but her beauty was merely the sheath that covered a deadly blade. No alien king dared to oppose her, not after what happened to the Andromeda Coalition. The story was told in hushed whispers throughout the universe how she single-handedly decimated their fleet when they refused her terms for surrender. She did not tolerate disrespect. Humanity was new to the galactic stage, barely a century into faster-than-light travel. They were considered primitive by most standards, but they controlled resources the Zorlian Empire desperately needed. Commander Kate Miller of the Earth Defense Force had been chosen to negotiate with the alien princess. Kate was not like other negotiators the military had sent before she had grown up in the harsh deserts of Arizona, learning survival skills from her grandmother, a former Special Forces operative. Her brown hair was cut short for practicality, and her green eyes held a determination that had earned her respect among her peers. The meeting would take place on neutral ground, a space station positioned between Earth and its moon. Kate felt her heartbeat quicken as she stepped onto the transport ship. This mission determined the future of humanity. Princess Lyra was intrigued by the human representative. Most species sent their most decorated diplomats or their most intimidating warriors, but Earth had sent this curious woman who carried herself with quiet confidence. The princess felt something stir within her, something she had not felt in centuries. Kate entered the negotiation chamber and saw the alien princess for the first time. Her breath caught in her throat. Lyra was tall, nearly 7 feet, with 4 arms each ending in delicate hands. She wore ceremonial armor that accentuated her athletic form. What surprised Kate most was how the princess dismissed her royal guards with a simple gesture, leaving them alone. "You are not afraid of me." "Human," Princess Lyra spoke, her voice melodious despite the translator Kate wore in her ear. Kate met the 4 violet eyes steadily. "I respect your power, but fear would not serve either of us in this negotiation." A smile spread across the alien princess' face, revealing teeth that resembled polished opals. How refreshing. Most representatives can barely maintain eye contact. They discuss terms for hours, Kate proving herself knowledgeable about interstellar trade and defensive pacts. She did not cower when Lyra mentioned what happened to other planets that defied her. She simply nodded, acknowledging the information without showing fear. By the 3rd hour, Lyra found herself leaning forward, captivated by this human woman. The princess had lived for over 500 years, and few beings had ever captured her attention this way. The negotiations expanded to multiple days. During breaks, Kate taught Lyra about human customs, showing her images of Earth landscapes. Lyra shared stories of distant worlds, with bizarre creatures and breathtaking beauty. Neither woman acknowledged the growing tension between them. On the 5th day, news arrived that changed everything. The Draconid Empire, ancient enemies of the Zorlines, had launched an attack on human colonies in the Proxima Centauri system. Lyra watched Kate closely, expecting panic or accusation. Instead, the human commander simply asked, "How can we coordinate our response?" The princess felt something crack in her ancient heart. The human did not blame her, did not assume Zorlian treachery. She immediately trusted that they could face this threat together. Their alliance formed quickly. Kate and Lyra developed battle strategies that combined Zorlan advanced technology with human, unpredictable tactics. Princess Lyra personally led her flagship alongside the human fleet, with Kate at her side. The Draconid forces had not anticipated this alliance. The battle was fierce, but the combined forces prevailed. Kate demonstrated courage that impressed even the hardened Zorlian warriors. She saved Lyra during a critical moment, when Draconid assassins breached the ship. After their victory celebrations erupted across both fleets, Kate found Princess Lyra alone on the observation deck, looking out at the stars. "You are unlike any being I have encountered in my long life," Lyra said softly. You showed no fear when we first met. You offered trust when others would have offered accusations. You fight with both wisdom and passion. Kate smiled, approaching the alien princess. I could say the same about you. When I was chosen for this mission, I was told you were the most feared royal in the galaxy. But I see someone who protects what matters to her, someone who values strength but also wisdom. Their hands touched tentatively, bridging the gap between their species. It was unprecedented, a human and a Zorlian princess, finding connection where everyone expected conflict. Word spread throughout the galaxies of the fearsome Princess Lyra and her human companion. The alien kings who had once trembled at the mention of the princess name now watched in fascination. As the alliance between Earth and the Zorlian Empire flourished, Kate became known as the human who tamed the destroyer, not through force or fear, but through respect and understanding. Their story became legend, a reminder that sometimes the most powerful weapon was not fear but connection. 6 months after their first meeting, Kate received an invitation to visit the Zorlian homeworld. No human had ever set foot on the sacred planet. The diplomatic corps was shocked, but Kate accepted without hesitation. The journey took 3 weeks. Even with the advanced Zorlian drives, Kate spent the time learning the complex Zorlian language, determined to show respect by speaking to the Empress without a translator. The Zorlian homeworld was breathtaking. 3 moons orbited the planet, casting multiple shadows across purple oceans and towering crystal formations. The capital city was built into a mountain range, each structure seeming to grow organically. From the rock, Kate was welcomed with a ceremony, usually reserved for royalty. She wore a traditional Earth uniform but accepted the ceremonial Zorlian cloak Lyra had sent for her. The princess watched from beside her mother, the Empress, her 4 eyes never leaving Kate. The Empress was ancient. Even by Zorlian standards, her skin had faded to a pale lavender. Her silver hair reached the floor. Her 8 eyes studied Kate with open curiosity. So you are the human who fights alongside my daughter? Kate bowed in the Zorlian style. It is my honor, Your Majesty. The Empress gestured for Kate to rise. You speak our language. This pleases me, the royal court whispered among themselves. No outsider had mastered their complex language with its subtle tonal shifts that could change meaning entirely. Kate had spent countless hours practicing, determined to show proper respect. Lyra beamed with pride as she stepped forward. Mother Kate is here to discuss expanding our alliance. The humans have technologies we lack, and we have knowledge they need. The Empress nodded. I have heard stories of human adaptability. Show me why my daughter speaks so highly of you over the next week. Kate participated in royal council meetings, sharing human perspectives on galactic politics. She was introduced to Zorlian, art, literature, and music, finding beauty in their alien expressions. She learned their sacred combat form, a dance-like martial art that utilized all 4 arms. Lyra and Kate spent evenings walking through the crystal gardens, the princess explaining the history of her people, Kate sharing stories of Earth. During one such walk, they encountered a group of young Zorlian's children by human standards, though some were older than Kate. They stared at Kate with undisguised curiosity. The princess surprised Kate by kneeling down to speak with the children. This is Commander Kate Miller of Earth. She is my trusted friend and ally. Would you like to meet her? The children approached cautiously, one brave soul reaching out to touch Kate's hair. Is it true? You only have 2 arms, the child asked. Kate smiled, demonstrating how she managed with just 2. The children were fascinated, asking endless questions about Earth humans and how Kate had become friends with their princess. Lyra explained, for children have never seen a human before. Today they learned humans are not to be feared but respected. You have changed how an entire generation will view your species. Kate felt the weight of her responsibility as an ambassador, not just for Earth, but for humanity itself. Every interaction shaped how their species would relate for centuries to come. On the 10th day of Kate's visit to the Zorlian homeworld, alarms blared throughout the palace. Guards rushed to protect the royal family, as communications officers reported multiple ships entering the atmosphere without authorization. The Draconids have returned, Lyra said, her voice cold. They seek revenge for their defeat. Kate immediately accessed the tactical displays. The Draconid ships were smaller than before, designed for stealth rather than open combat. They had somehow bypassed the planetary defense systems. The Empress rose from her throne. "We must evacuate to the bunkers." "No," Kate said, studying the attack pattern. "This is not a full invasion. These are assassination vessels. They want specific targets. They want the royal family." Lyra nodded. "In agreement, the human is correct, Mother. They seek to cut off the head of our empire and likely to kill the human who helped defeat them." Kate turned to the Zorlian general. "Take your forces to protect the Eastern Palace wing. That's where they'll expect you to evacuate." Then she looked at Lyra. "I have another plan against protocol." Kate led the royal family through service tunnels beneath the palace. The human had memorized the palace layout during her first day, identifying escape routes out of habit. The Empress was reluctant, but Lyra trusted Kate without question. They emerged in an ancient temple rarely used by the royal family anymore. Kate explained, "The Draconids will search every royal bunker, every official escape route, but they won't expect you to hide in plain sight." For 3 days they remained in the temple as battles raged across the capital. Lyra and Kate ventured out each night, gathering intelligence and supplies. The princess was impressed by how easily Kate adapted to the situation. The human moved through shadows with natural stealth despite having grown up on a world with completely different gravity and atmosphere. On the 4th night, they discovered the Draconids' true plan. They had planted devastating bombs throughout the capital designed to destroy not just the royal family, but the entire cultural heart of the Zorlian Empire. "We have 6 hours," Kate estimated after examining one of the devices. "We need to alert the military without exposing your family's location." Lyra touched Kate's shoulder. "You should leave. Take a ship, return to Earth. This is not your fight." Kate looked shocked. "How can you say that after everything we've been through?" The princess's 4 eyes blinked rapidly in distress. "My people have lived for thousands of years. We have faced extinction before. But your species is young. Your life is short and precious." Kate took Lyra's hands in hers. "My life may be short by your standards, but that makes how I spend it even more important. I choose to be here together." They formulated a plan. Using ancient communication methods that the Draconids wouldn't monitor, they contacted loyal Zorlan forces. Kate used her knowledge of Earth history to suggest guerrilla tactics. Unfamiliar to both the Zorlians and Draconids, the counterattack began at dawn. Zorlian forces emerged from unexpected locations while Kate led a small team to disarm the bombs. Her Earth Defense Force training included explosive ordnance disposal, though the alien technology required quick adaptation. The fighting was fierce. Kate sustained injuries protecting a group of Zorlian civilians, her blood staining her uniform crimson. Lyra fought with legendary skill, her 4 arms wielding ceremonial blades that sliced through Draconid armor. By nightfall, the invasion had been repelled. The Draconid commander was captured alive. Brought before the Empress, he expected execution instead. She looked to Kate. "What would humans do with such a prisoner?" Kate stepped forward despite her bandaged wounds. "Humans have learned through bitter experience that cycles of vengeance only breed more conflict. I would suggest imprisonment with rehabilitation. If he can be turned to an ally that serves your empire, better than creating a martyr." The Empress considered, then nodded. "Her wisdom is why you follow her, isn't it, daughter?" Lyra looked at Kate with undisguised admiration. "It is one of many reasons." In the aftermath, Kate became a hero to the Zorlian people. Songs were composed about the human with 2 arms who fought like she had 4 stories spread of how she had protected the royal family. Children began playing games pretending to be the brave human commander and the fierce alien princess defending the galaxy together. During Kate's recovery, Lyra rarely left her side. The princess learned human medical techniques to help with Kate's treatment. The royal physician was surprised by the human's rapid healing, a trait uncommon among longer-lived species. As Kate recovered from her injuries, she received a message from Earth Command. They were concerned about her extended stay on the Zorlian homeworld. Some politicians worried she had become too close to the alien princess, suggesting her loyalty might be compromised. She was ordered to return to Earth immediately. Kate showed the message to Lyra, who read it with all four eyes narrowing. "Will you go? I must," Kate said. "They are my chain of command, but I will return. I promise." The princess touched Kate's cheek gently. "You have duties to your people as I have to mine, I understand this." "But Kate," her voice softened, "remember that promises between our species have different weights. Your life is brief. My people will still exist when the memory of your civilization has faded to dust. A promise to return must span that gulf." Kate took Lyra's hand, placing it over her heart. "Then I make this promise not just as a soldier of Earth, but as Kate Miller. I will return to you." The journey back to Earth was tense. Kate spent much of it preparing her report, careful to balance diplomatic necessities with honest assessment of the Zorleen Empire's strengths and intentions. She knew some on Earth feared the alliance, viewing it as submission to a superior force rather than a partnership between equals. Landing at Earth Command headquarters in the North American District, Kate was immediately summoned to a council meeting. The chamber was filled with military leaders, politicians, and intelligence officers, all eager to question the woman who had become so closely associated with the alien princess. Admiral Lori Nelson, head of Earth Defense Force, spoke first. "Commander Miller, your actions have placed Earth in an unprecedented position. Some call you a hero, others worry you've been compromised by alien influence." Kate stood tall still, wearing the ceremonial Zorleen cloak over her Earth uniform. "I understand your concerns, Admiral. My loyalty is to humanity, but I believe our future lies in cooperation, not isolation. The Zorleens could have conquered us instead. They offer alliance." For hours they questioned her about Zorleen military capabilities, political structures, cultural beliefs. Kate answered honestly, hiding nothing except the depth of her personal connection to Princess Lyra. That she kept private. Senator Pat Harper leaned forward. "The alien princess seems to favor you specifically. Is this some form of manipulation?" Kate met the senator's gaze evenly. "Princess Lyra respects strength and honesty. I have shown both. She has saved my life as I have saved hers. That creates a bond regardless of species." The questioning continued for days. Kate remained patient, understanding their caution. Finally, Admiral Nelson delivered their decision. Earth would maintain the alliance, but with expanded diplomatic presence. Kate would return to the Zorlan homeworld, but with a team of Earth representatives. Some on the council objected, wanting to limit Zorlan influence. Kate argued passionately. "The universe is vast and filled with threats greater than either of our species alone. The Draconids attacked both our worlds, not because we are weak, but because together we are strong." 3 months after returning to Earth, Kate prepared for her journey back to the Zorlan homeworld. This time she would lead a diplomatic corps including scientists, engineers, and cultural experts. She had spent weeks selecting people who showed adaptability and open minds. The night before departure, Kate stood on her balcony looking up at the stars. Somewhere out there was Lyra. Had the princess already forgotten her? The Zorlan lifespan, measured in centuries, made human lives seem brief as mayflies. A soft chime alerted her to a communication request. The holographic projector activated, revealing Princess Lyra. Her silver hair elaborately braided her violet skin, glowing in the light of her world's 3 moons. Kate smiled, surprised at the intensity of emotion she felt, seeing the princess again even. "As a hologram, Lyra, I didn't expect to hear from you before my arrival." The princess's 4 eyes blinked in their distinctive pattern that Kate had learned signified happiness. "I could not wait. I have news. The Zorleen Council has created a new position, Interspecies Ambassador. They have appointed me to this role. My first assignment is Earth." Kate's eyes widened. "You're coming here?" Lyra nodded. "We will arrive 3 days after your scheduled departure. We would have passed each other in the void plans." Quickly changed, Kate would remain on Earth to welcome the Zorleen delegation. The news sent ripples through Earth society. Some celebrated the deepening alliance, others protested, fearing alien influence. Security was heightened around major cities. When the Zorleen royal ship entered Earth orbit, it was met with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The vessel dwarfed anything humans had built, its crystalline structure catching sunlight and refracting it in dazzling patterns. Kate stood on the landing platform as the Zorlian shuttle descended. She wore her full diplomatic uniform adorned with both Earth and Zorlian symbols of alliance. Behind her stood Earth's leaders, nervously awaiting their first encounter with the alien princess. The shuttle doors opened and Princess Lyra emerged, her tall figure regal in ceremonial armor that caught the sunlight. Her 4 eyes immediately found Kate in the crowd, and she smiled. The formal greetings proceeded according to protocol. The Earth President welcomed the princess with carefully rehearsed words. Lyra responded with equal formality. But everyone present noticed how the alien princess's attention kept returning to Commander Miller. Later at the diplomatic reception, Kate finally had a moment alone with Lyra. They stood on a balcony overlooking the Pacific Ocean, the princess fascinated by Earth's single moon hanging low in the sky. "I feared you might not return," Lyra admitted. Her voice carried a vulnerability Kate had never heard before. "My advisors warned me that humans change their minds quickly, that your brief lives make you unpredictable." Kate smiled gently. "In some ways, they're right. Humans do change, but not about everything. Not about connections that matter. I promised I would return, and I meant it." The princess's 4 hands fidgeted with her ceremonial sash. "There is something I must tell you. The Empress. My mother is considering retirement. In our culture, the heir must prove themselves worthy. Through great achievements, my appointment as ambassador is a test." Kate understood immediately. "If you succeed, you will become Empress. If you fail, another will be chosen." Lyra nodded. "This alliance must work, Kate. Not just for my sake, but for both our peoples. There are forces in the galaxy, ancient and terrible, that neither of us could face alone." Over the next year, Kate and Lyra worked tirelessly to strengthen the alliance between their species. They traveled across Earth, meeting with leaders and ordinary citizens alike. The princess learned human customs, visited schools, answered endless questions about her world and people. Kate stood beside her, a bridge between species. Not everyone welcomed the alliance. Extremist groups on both planets protested, claiming their cultures would be contaminated. During a diplomatic visit to the European district, an assassination attempt nearly claimed both their lives. Kate pushed Lyra out of the path of an energy weapon, taking the blast across her shoulder. Kate recovered. Lyra refused to leave her side, defying both Earth security protocols and her own royal guards. The princess used Zorlian healing techniques, accelerating Kate's recovery. When Kate awoke to find Lyra sleeping in a chair beside her bed, exhaustion evident even on her alien features, she realized their connection had grown beyond diplomacy, beyond even friendship. What they shared had no name in either of their languages. After Kate's recovery, they faced the challenges. With renewed determination, they established cultural exchange programs, scientific collaborations, defense treaties. Earth technology began incorporating Zorlian advancements, while Zorlian art and philosophy found eager audiences on Earth. 1 year to the day after Lyra's arrival on Earth, they stood together at the United Nations as the Galactic Cooperation Treaty was signed. Earth officially joining the interstellar community as the Zorlian Empire's closest ally. That evening they watched the sunset from Kate's home in Arizona. The desert landscape reminded Lyra of certain regions on her homeworld. They sat in comfortable silence until Kate spoke. "When we first met, I was afraid of you. Everyone was. You were the destroyer of worlds." Lyra's 4 eyes blinked reflectively. "I was afraid too. Not of you specifically, but of change. My people measure time differently. Kate, we can become fixed in our ways, resistant to new ideas. You humans with your brief, bright lives burn with such intensity. You reminded me what it means to truly live." Kate took the princess's hand, intertwining their fingers despite the anatomical differences. "I've been thinking about what you said about human lives being brief compared to yours." The princess looked away. "I should not have spoken of that. It was insensitive." "No, it was honest," Kate said. "And it made me realize something important. Every species in the galaxy faces the same fundamental choice. Do we hide from difference or embrace it? Do we fear the unknown?" or explore it together. We've shown what's possible when we choose connection over fear. News arrived from the Zorlian homeworld. The Empress had made her decision. Princess Lyra would be named heir apparent. Her work with humans had demonstrated wisdom, and vision needed to lead the Empire into a new era. Kate felt pride mixed with sadness knowing that Lyra's new role would take her away. The princess sensed her thoughts. "This is not an ending. Kate," she said softly. "It is a beginning. The first chapter, in a story that will span centuries. The alliance we've built will outlive both of us, becoming part of the foundation of a new galactic community." Kate smiled. Despite the vast differences between their species, their lifespans, their biology, they had found connection. The fearsome alien princess and the human soldier had changed the course of galactic history, not through conquest, but through understanding. As they watched Earth's single moon rise, Lyra spoke words from an ancient Zorlian poem. "The stars themselves bear witness to our promise. Though worlds may turn and suns may fade, what we have built together shall endure." Together they faced the future, two representatives of vastly different species, united by a shared vision of what the galaxy could become.